Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Options Moneymaker and News Cycle Trading and Analytics Q&A. Today is August 3rd. I have with me Kristen. Hello,
Good
Kristen.
evening. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
So Kristen is the main host in our live trading room. So those of you that are Aurora subscribers and that are in our live trading room daily benefit from her constant training and education of the PB and A signals as she guides you throughout the trading day. So as we wait for some questions to filter in, Kristen's really great about reinforcing the learn to trade, trade to earn. And she's broken it down into 4 steps where you learn how to enter the trade. So you're learning how to take the trade, what your signals are that tells you to buy or to sell. Learn how to manage your trade. So you're in a trade looking to reduce risk, to lock in profit, to exit the trade. Learn how to manage your DOM, your trading platform. And this is important before you even switch to live. You want to make sure that you know the platform like the back of your hand. You know how to enter trades, you know how to exit, you know what happens if you make a mistake, how to get out of a trade fairly quickly using, in our case, the flatten button. And learning how to prep your DOM, getting ready when you're anticipating an entry, making sure that the current price isn't somewhere off, nowhere near the center of your DOM, having it really focused there so you're ready to go and ready with your cursor over the buy or the sell market buttons. And then learning when to stop trading. This is always a hurdle for most traders, regardless of what they're trading, futures, options, crypto, stocks, is learning when to stop trading, whether you're down or up. So the market never owes you anything, and having a stopping point on both sides, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a hard stop, but a place where you stop and evaluate whether you should continue trading for the day. And then something new this week is that last week you came off of FOMC on Wednesday, and we've always gotten questions about FOMC and trading, Fed announcements. And while Wednesdays in general are profitable, we decided to take out the Wednesdays, the specific Wednesdays that, and the week of, that contain FOMC, and evaluate whether it makes sense to trade any day of the week or very specific days, and also take a look at what strategies make sense to trade during that time. So this is just averages that we have here on the Mondays of FOMC week, Tuesdays, the actual day, and then that Thursday and Friday as well. And you can see while there are positive numbers on the Wednesday, they're not very significant. They're not in line with our averages. They actually end up bringing our averages down a bit because there are losing days for PBs on FOMCs. They average a loss. A's average a gain, but you can see it's nothing compared to what we're used to on, at least on the Mondays and Tuesdays. So we went through and evaluated this, and based on our evaluation, the highest performer strategy on Fed Day was just a 4A signal on a 5-minute chart, and that's it. Just a 4A signal on a 5-minute chart that has the highest average profit for Fed Day. Or you can choose to skip those days and not trade at all. But if you do decide to trade on Fed days, based on our analysis and based on our research, the 4A strategy is the best strategy. Now, that's not the best strategy on Monday and Tuesday. On Monday and Tuesday, you can see that A's and PBs are very strong. A's seem to be just a little bit stronger, but overall A's and PBs are strong on Mondays and Tuesdays. Thursdays, they are also strong. And then Fridays, they're positive, but just not as strong as what we're used to seeing. So we took this evaluation, and this last Wednesday, we personally decided to not live trade on Wednesday based on our analysis. And because we are a community, we wanted to bring this information to you. Those of you that have met me at all or talked to me at all know that I thrive on data. Kristen's the same way. We are two brains of the same kind here. And so we wanted to bring this data to you to help you evaluate when there is FOMC weeks, what you want to do, what changes you maybe want to take in your account. Maybe it's trading the A strategies on Mondays and Tuesdays and not trading on Wednesdays, or maybe on Wednesdays you just decide to trade 4 A's. Whatever you do decide to do, this is just some data that we wanted to bring to you. And then our normal averages on NQ, the PB3s, PB5s, I think this is PB35s, excuse me, and PB13s average $2,000 a day. And then the A strategies, 5 and 10 minutes, 3 A's, 4 A's, and fractals average $1,100 a day. And then our combo strategy, this is new. We have not taught it yet. We are hoping to teach it here within the next month, I would say. We want to give you some opportunity to sign up and be able to attend in person. It will be available for any Aurora subscriber to attend in person. If you are not an Aurora subscriber, then it will eventually be sent out as a recording, but we are providing this combo strategy education to our Aurora subscribers first. And we're not going to go into teaching the combo strategy tonight, but basically the common question that we get in the live trading room almost daily is, what should I be trading, the PBs or the A's? There will be people that flip-flop between the two, and they feel that maybe they're not picking the right strategy when they're flip-flopping. The A's might be profitable, but the PBs are more profitable. And of course, everybody wants to be on the most profitable strategy of the day. Well, the combo strategy helps in the fact that it is a combination of both the PBs and the A's, but you're not going to be taking 4 trades at once. The most you would be taking would be 3 if you are trading fractals as well. But we are evaluating the different combinations to also offer those averages to you as well. Let's say for the combo strategy, you decide you don't want to trade fractals. We'll have that education and those averages available during the combo strategy training that we will have. So the combo strategy is taking our PB3s, PB5s, PB13s, and then our 3 A's and 4 A's. So the A strategies and the PB strategies together and trading them. And it sounds like a lot. I know that it sounds like a lot, but it's not, because again, we're not going to be trading 4 trades at once. It's actually, as Kristen has told me, has a very nice flow to it. So we're excited to have this training that is upcoming. As soon as we have picked a day for the training, we will let you know. And we'll be teaching you all about the combo strategy. And then our other averages we track on oil, the oil futures, the 5, 10 minute, 15 minute, 3A, 4A, and fractals averages $1,400 a day. And then the RTY futures, the A strategy, averages $1,000 a day. All of these strategies assume a $1,700 max loss. We talked about stopping points, when to stop trading. This is our stopping point with our research, is that $1,700 max loss. So all of these averages, these are all based on 1 contract. So of course, if you trade 2 contracts, you can double all of these numbers for the averages. This is the opportunity that we see on a daily basis on these different strategies. Your personal performance may be greater or less depending on how much you are a rule follower and how much you want to adapt these strategies for your own personal trading and your personal goals that you're looking for. We have a lot of people in our live trading room that have taken the Aurora system and really made it their own, trading it on shorter time frames. We have some people that are trading it on 30-second charts. We have some people that are looking at a 1-minute chart to confirm entry on a 3 and a 5. We have others that take it to longer time frames for stocks or options trades. There's some flexibility. We are highlighting such a small part in our live trading room, looking at the 3, 5, 10-minute PBs and A signals, but there's great flexibility with these indicators. So also coming soon is the Aurora PBs indicator update. And so I'm going to switch over to my chart here. Kristen, can you see my chart okay?
Yes, I can.
So the new indicator we are hoping to release in the next month, and this has been a requested feature from almost all of you, is to have some easy to look at way for the threes, the PB3s, PB35s, and PB13s, similar to our 4As and 3As that we have on the price bars. So this is still in a development stage, but we wanted to at least preview it to you. So you can see it's this indicator right in here. This top line is the PBA 3-minute, and you can actually see that label right here. The PBA 3-minute is the top line. The CXA 5-minute is the middle line, and the PBA 10-minute is this bottom row. So this top area is the 3-minute chart, and you can see how it lines up identically with the PBA 3-minute. And so for just to give us a little bit space, I'm going to remove my PBA 3-minute since we already have it in here. And then this next line is the 5-minute CXA. And so you can see as my cursor is on this 3-minute chart and you look over to the 5-minute chart, they line up with the blue bars on the 5-minute CXA. So you would be able to see the 5-minute CXA in the same window as the 3-minute chart. And then same with the 10-minute chart, we can actually see that there is a 10-minute PBA on right now. And you can see it's over here as well. That 10-minute PBA is showing up in the same chart. So instead of needing to glance across the 3 different charts, you can look at one chart and look to see if there is alignment. And then instead of the indicator just showing if it's a red bar or blue bar, and if it's the first one labeled with S and L, now it will show you whether it is a PB3 entry, a PB35, or a PB13. So right now we have the 10-minute here, and we have the 3-minute. So we have a 3-minute PBA and a 10-minute PBA. And so that's why the 13 is showing up. It is a PB13 because the 3 and the 10 are aligned. Now, that didn't happen right at the beginning of the 10-minute bar. It actually didn't happen at the beginning of the 3-minute bar either, because you're going to have alerts as well of when that shows up. And it's at the alignment appeared at 15 seconds after the open of the bar is what it's looking like, is because it's flashing on and off. It's been flashing on and off. It did appear originally at the beginning of the 1910 bar, but then it flashed back away and came back. So you're going to also have alerts that tell you if there is alignment. So right now we see an alignment between the 3-minute and the 5-minute. So the 3-minute and the 5-minute, and we see the PB35 short because the 3-minute and the 5-minute are aligned, and this indicator shows up here, the PB 35. Now, this is, again, still in development. There are some limitations on TradingView's ends, but we're trying to work through those, see if we have some workarounds here. But the ultimate goal is to be able to have this on the 3-minute chart, but then also be able to have the 5-minute show the 3-minute and the 5-minute, and the 10-minute show the 3-minute and the 10-minute, so that you can still take signals off of the 5-minute. Because what this won't show you, which it cannot show you, is when there is a new bar on the 5-minute chart. You will have to look at the 5-minute chart to see that next bar, since this can only print every 3 minutes. But it'll be very easy to look at this. And the majority of the trades, Kristen was going through this, the majority of our trades originate from the 3-minute chart anyway. So it won't be very often that you'd have to look at the 5 or the 10-minute chart. So this is what we are looking at, and setting up alerts. My plan right now is, because I know a lot of you use Aurora in different fashions, is that this will be a brand new indicator. It will be a separate one. So you can have the original Aurora on, and then you can also have the PB Aurora. So if you like how the original Aurora works, if you're using it on a 15-second chart and you're not needing to have the PB3s and 35s comparing the timeframes together, that's fine. This improvement won't affect what you're using right now, because we're just going to roll it out as a brand new indicator. So there will be settings in here as well. If you decide that a PB3 is actually maybe the 5-minute comparing with the 10-minute, you'll be able to change settings of what your second time frame is, whether you want it to be a 10-minute, if you want it to be CXA or PBA, there will be options in here. And then if you don't trade PB13s, you can always uncheck the PB13s in the 3rd time frame, and then it disappears off of your chart. So there's ways to customize this so it shows you exactly what you are looking for. So we wanted to give you a little bit of a preview of that tonight. Again, we're hoping to get this rolled out within the next month. We're still fighting through some of TradingView limitations, but right now it's functioning very well. We like what we're seeing, and we can't wait to release this to you guys as well. Okay, and then so we'll get to questions. If you have any other questions about what services we offer, you can go to newcycletrading.com/services. That's where you can sign up for Aurora or purchase a personal trading plan. Personal trading plan is really integral to forecasting your business model. It allows you to track your trades and evaluate when it is time for you to scale up, if you choose to scale up contracts. You're not always limited to trading 1 contract. You can look to trade 2 or maybe 3 contracts. It allows you to really put in there what you're looking for. So if you only want to trade up to 3 contracts, you can have the personal trading plan evaluate on a 3 contract max and what your risk level is as well. So all of that's on newcycletrading.com/services. So let's see what questions we have here.
A lot of excitement, Erin, about the
I
new
do see
indicators.
that.
Definitely cool. And I'll just share with you, I've been using those and it is phenomenal. I'm thinking about all of you that I talk to regularly in the live trading room. And I know you're going to love this. This is exactly what many of you have been asking for. So very excited about that.
And our plan is to, again, it is in a beta working mode, but the plan is to preview it during the live trading room starting next week. It will be on Christian's charts in the live trading room. we want to be aware that there are still some limitations, and we'll talk through those while we're hosting the live trading room next week. We'll remove the PBA for the 3-minute off the chart and replace it with this, because at minimum, if you still want to use the Aurora system the way that you're used to, this 3-minute up here is exactly what you're used to. So you can just focus right up here on the PBA 3-minute.
Erin, Greg is asking about a revised worksheet. We have 2 documents. Many of you know about those, but on that same website, newcycletrading.com, if you go to our education page, there are some free education services available. 2 documents, they're PDFs that you can download that help you identify the trades in both the PB and the A strategies. And we have notes on those mostly for NQ. And we have some notes for oil as well. I know more and more people are starting to take a look at oil as well. And so as we continue to make improvements and enhancements, we'll look at possibly improving those documents for those of you who are looking for more guidance on oil as well.
And then thank you, Rod. Rod was letting me know I wasn't showing the chart. So in the live trading room, when we look at the PBs, the PBA on the 3-minute is all up here. So you won't be missing out. You'll still be able to see that 3-minute up here. No problem. Yeah, Debbie, the averages are shown for one contract. The A's don't have as much data as the PBs. The PBs have been around for longer. So as the market fluctuates, as we get into the summer slowness is what I like to call it, it's going to change the averages of the A's a little bit more than the PBs that have much more data. So just in term of averages, the more data you have, the less one day affects it. The less data you have, the more one day affects it. Greg, that's not a primary focus right now of posting all the trade data on the website. We are looking into the PBs and CycleBot. Those are our primary focus right now. All that trade data on the website requires, it sounds very easy to just be able to post it for clients to be able to manipulate it, but it requires a little bit more than that because of the amount of data. It requires a data hosting service, and then it's going to most likely require some sort of subscription from clients to access the data. So we're going back and forth on what makes the most sense. And then Greg, as soon as we get to a point where there's something that would be worthwhile to discuss about CycleBot, we'll absolutely let you guys know. There's always progress going on with it, just not anything that's necessarily worth sharing. So as soon as we get to a point where we can even just preview it like we are with the PBs today, we will let you know. All right, so we have a question from David. David is saying, I only want to trade the 3A and 4A signals. What indicators do I need and how do I remove the other indicators? So the 3A and 4A signals are alignment between PBA, CXA, PFO, and the price bar. So the only difference between 3A and 4A is that 3A happens on a white price bar, while 4A, the color has to be aligned. So when the indicators are aligned, that means that they're all the same color. So for 4As, we need a red price bar. So for this example, you can see a red price bar, red PBA, red profit flow oscillator, and red CXA. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why it's called 4A. All of those are aligned, and that is a 4A signal. 3A is the same situation, except on a white bar. So here we have the white price bar, and then we have the red PBA, the red PFO, and the red CXA. So if you only wanted the indicators that went with 4A and 3A, you could remove your Cycle Finder Plus and your AO. And in order to remove your Cycle Finder Plus and your AO, you can either right click on the bar and click remove, right click on the line and click remove, or if you have this show indicator legend, you'll want to drop that down so that you can hover over the AO and click remove. And then you do need the adaptive entry system. Most people think you don't, but the adaptive entry system is what colors these price bars. So what you might not want is then the momentum or the consensus labels. So you'll want to go into your adaptive entry system settings, and then you want colorized price bars for trends, but that's the only thing that you need to have highlighted. You can uncheck display momentum entries, and those will disappear and you don't need them anymore. And then if you don't want the bar size warning, because we don't use those with 4As and 3As, you could set this to something like 500, because first of all, if there is a 500 point bar on the 3-minute, I highly recommend skipping the next trade because something is going on. But that's something else that you can change, and you won't have those bar size warnings. So that's what I would recommend. If you just want to trade 4A and 3A and you're looking to reduce the amount of indicators on your screen, then you can remove the AO and Cycle Finder Plus either by hovering over the name, choosing this X to remove, or right clicking on the bar for AO or the price line for Cycle Finder Plus and clicking remove. You will want to still have on your 5-minute chart, you'll want to have the fractals. You don't need them on your 3-minute chart, but you want to have them on your 5-minute chart. And in fact, with your 3A and 4A signals, you don't need a 3-minute chart really at all, although I recommend having it and paying attention to when the PFO or PBAs stop printing. That's what you want to see on your 3-minute chart. So I would still keep your 3, 5, 10, but if you're really looking to clean up space, you could get rid of your 3-minute, but I don't recommend it. So on your 3-minute chart and your 10-minute chart, you can absolutely get rid of your fractals. You can remove the divergent bars and fractals on your 3-minute and your 10-minute, but you will want them on your 5-minute chart. Why I don't have prices on mine, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into. Oh, labels got unchecked. There we go. So what you'll want to do is make sure that you can see your divergent bar, your fractals here. You don't need divergent bars. So in your settings, you can choose to remove your divergent bars. So you hover over NCTA divergent bars and fractals, and you click settings. You can also get there by right clicking on one of the price labels and choose settings. And under style, you can uncheck the bullish and the bearish divergent bar. And then that will remove the divergent bars. And again, if you don't want the momentums, you would go into adaptive entry system settings and uncheck momentum. So those are the ways, those are really what you could remove if you are looking to reduce the amount of indicators if you're only trading 3A and 4A signals. The reason that you still want to have fractals is because they're used as stops. So if you are in a trade and the fractal is closer than your stop, your 30-point stop, you'll want to adjust your stop to that fractal and then also place an order at that fractal. So if it's a lower fractal, in order to go short. The fractals are part of the A strategy. So if you're looking to trade the whole A strategy, then you will want to have fractals out there as well.
Christian, you're asking about the PB strategy and the A strategy. You have not missed anything. The PB3, PB35, and PB13 are the 3 trades that we group together and call the PB strategy. So those are the 3 trades that make up the PB strategy. And the 3A and 4A on both the 5-minute and 10-minute are the trade entries that make up the A strategy. So as we're referring to the PB strategy or the A strategy, it's just that, though, each of those groups of trade entries.
It's easier, less syllables than saying the PB3, 35, 13. It's just, we're saying the PB strategy. So it is exactly what you've learned and you have not missed a single thing. Deborah's saying, what triggers the color of the price to change between white versus red, blue for the 3A, 4A? So it's part of the adaptive entry system, and it has to do with the way that the price is moving. It's a proprietary built-in feature into the adaptive entry system, but just visually, you can see that when we trend lower, we're going to continue to have red bars. When we trend higher, we're going to have blue bars. And when we start to get into a sideways range like here, we're going to see more of those white price bars. This 5 minutes a great example. We had, let me expand this out. We had this nice move lower. Yes, it's going to cycle up, but it's saying that it's going to continue to be a trend lower, and that's correct. Then we have this move up here, and now all of a sudden we're saying, oh, maybe that short trend is over as we get into the sideways with the white bars, but then the trend continues, seeing a little bit of that move lower. Debbie, have you ever traded options before? I think that's really the first thing, is if you've never traded options before, you want to become educated on how to trade options. If you have traded options before and now you're just looking to apply the Aurora strategy to options, we recommend looking at a 5-minute, a 30-minute, and a 60-minute chart. When we've traded options, we've seen very rapid price movement and profit locks, hitting our profit targets, with looking at a 30-minute chart aligned with a 5-minute chart. So similar to a PB35, but your or a PB13, but your 2 time frames are a 5-minute and a 30-minute chart. And personally, I'm a big advocate of looking and tracking and trading in sim before you move to live. We all are. That's the way we protect our accounts. And so just monitor it and look at the chart. Usually you'll get entries earlier in the morning. I always recommend having them in the morning, especially with the type of market we've seen and with the opportunity that we've seen on Aurora. These are better. The 5:30 minute is better for day trading. So in and out, you enter the trade, you set your GTC, and then we've seen profit targets hit relatively quickly. And then evaluating the chart, the 30-minute chart, for when it tells you that you should exit the trade. So very similar to what we're doing with NQ in the room. If you're looking for longer holds, overnight holds, which again, you do want to be aware, of course, if you have traded options before, so you're aware of this, but you're subject to any overnight movement. You can evaluate a longer time frame chart, such as a 60-minute and a daily chart. And Kendall's saying recommend not taking an option trade before 9:35. I would agree with that. There's a lot of volatility right at 9:30, and it actually can inflate the price of options a little bit. So even though the position may move in your favor, you're not seeing the profit reflect that. David, I think I addressed this, but just in case I didn't. So the 3A, the A strategy, which is the 3A, the 4A, and fractals. The 3A and 4A trades are taken on the 5 and the 10-minute chart. And the fractals are just taken on the 5-minute chart. If you are just starting off, there's nothing wrong with just focusing on the 5-minute chart and skipping the 10-minute 3A and 4A trades. So you could just trade the 3A and 4A and fractals on the 5-minute chart. And so there is a way, this is not what we are tracking. This is not part of our averages, but you can trade till a PFO exit. And that means that when you're holding for a PFO exit, let's see if we have a trend that I can show as an example here. It's a little bit harder in.
If you go to yesterday, I think there was a really good example. Right.
I'm assuming during the regular market session.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There. Oh, like
here or
it was in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. So this one.
It's a long one. Yeah.
Yeah. So here you have this nice movement lower. You have a 3A entry and you decide to hold for the PFO exit, which here is your PFO exit. So you're in at 13,059 and a quarter, and we start moving lower. So now you have almost 30 points of profit. Well, now we're down to 12,983. It would seem a little silly to not lock in something. And so when it says use the prior bar to reduce risk or lock in profits, you can actually even look at a 3-minute chart at this point. And use the prior bar. So here's the prior bars high at 12,944 and a half. You're still seeing a nice profit on the trade, but you're allowing opportunity. So you place your stop at the high of the prior bar, and you're using maybe the 3-minute chart to do that. And you're still allowing opportunity for it to continue to move lower, which it does. It doesn't come back up to that price level, and you can keep moving your stop lower. And so let's say you move it to 29 3/4. So now you're holding from, where's our 62 and a half. I think I'm getting a little, make sure I'm on the right one. No, 59 and a quarter. And then you keep adjusting it lower. And then you can even use the high of the 5-minute bars. So now you've adjusted to 89 3/4. Now you've adjusted to 49 and a half. Well, okay, now you have over 100 points locked in. And then here's your PFO exit. It did it come back up? It didn't come back up at all. PFO still took you out, but if it had spiked back up, you would have at least guaranteed yourself that 100 points of profit. So that's what we mean is to use the prior bar to reduce risk or lock in profits when holding for the PFO. And so once you start to see at least 20 points of profit, that's what we recommend is evaluating adjusting to a prior bar to lock in profits. I got a little bit off this. I didn't realize this had moved over, but here. So this was the trade, the 13.15. And now we're lined up with the 3-minute chart. So you see this big price bar move and you decide you want to lock in. You can always use the prior bar on the 3-minute too if you want to adjust more frequently. Okay, Christian, let me get back to that. Christian's asking, you're looking for the results trading the Fed news. Yes. Now, keep in mind, we don't actually trade the Fed news. We are done by 2 o'clock and Fed comes out at 2 o'clock. So there is always, almost always price movement at 2 o'clock with Fed news, and you can absolutely trade that. You will have slippage on both ends, but can make for really nice profit if you have a trailing stop and you pick the right direction and it doesn't stop you out first. There have been times where we've seen price action similar to 2 o'clock, but during the trading session that we trade, and I've seen it on my end where I thought I should have had a profit, but you just can't see, you blink and you miss it. It took me out for my stop first and then hit my profit target. You're welcome, Christian. Yeah, let me pull up the tracker just a second.
And while you're doing that, I'll just address one of Christian's other questions. Right now, we do not take momentum signals in the Aurora strategy. They are still part of the adaptive entry strategy. So they're still valid entries. We don't include them in any of the data that is calculated or tracked as part of our Aurora trading system. Okay. Well, then you don't have to worry about them anymore, Christian.
So Greg's asking if we can show oil daily summary from the time you started tracking oil. So here we go. So this is the time that we started to track oil. All the way down to today. Oh, that's a side note on FOMC weeks. I didn't update the rest of the week, but oil behaved very differently than NQ did. It wasn't affected as greatly on the FOMC weeks. Mondays and Tuesdays were still pretty strong, and let's see what it was. And Wednesdays were actually positive and within the normal average range on NQ. The only exception, there was really an outlier, and it was the week of 4th of July. So you're coming off of a holiday week. which could explain the outlier. And then averages, you're looking for so there you go, Greg. And then Bob, you're looking for what are the results trading limited hours? Are you wanting I could show you the PBs and the A's. So let me grab PBs. You're looking from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay, so on the Aurora system, which is the PBs, PB3, 35, 13s, your average is a little over 46 points a day from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the PBs, and that's $937 a day is what the average is, the average opportunity. And then the A's, which are the 5, 10-minute, 3A, 4As, and fractals, is about 22 points from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So based on what we're seeing for averages, the PBs seem to have a better performance from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Christian's asking, is the 3 and 4A strategy still producing the best results in this volatility? So that actually led us into our combo strategy as it became more of a back and forth between the A strategy and the PB strategy. And so because of that, we were having people that were conflicted about what they wanted to trade, which one they wanted to trade. And so this is why we are developing the combo strategy, which so you don't have to choose. And it's a combination of both, it incorporates both the PBs and the A's, which when the A's are struggling one day, the PBs help. And if the PBs are struggling one day, the A's are helping. But you're not taking all the trades from each of them. So if they're both struggling, it's not that all of a sudden now you're down the amount of the PBs plus the A's. That's not how it works. We're still limiting the amount of trades that we're taking at a time, meaning we're not taking double catch trades. We're looking to take a catch trade and a trend trade at the same time, just as we always have with PBs. So Kristen and I would talk periodically is how do we figure out what days to trade PBs, what days to trade A's. And the combo strategy seems to be the answer to this. That's what we are currently live trading is the combo strategy. Exactly, Christian. I love having Kristen here because Kristen gets all giddy about data just about as much as I do. And so when her and I have conversations about something and I go, oh, I wonder what this would be, she's like, let me figure this out. Or she'll talk about something like, okay, so I evaluated this data, and it's great conversations each time her and I talk about data. All right, I don't see any questions out there. Kristen, I don't know if you have anything to add.
Nope, nothing new to add. Just really excited to get back in the live trading with everyone. I want you to all know I've missed you. So next week I will be back and planning on a little bit of a back to basics starting out. Again, we've done that a couple of times, so something to look forward to. We'll really, really focus in on those different strategies, make sure that we, blow off any dust in terms of knowing how to make sure that we know how to enter a trade. We know how to manage our trades. I'll share my sim dome so we can practice doing different sort of dome management strategies. And then we'll talk about PATs and how to make sure that you're stop trading when it's appropriate as well. And so those back to basic weeks will be really exciting, and that should take us right into combo training, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. And so if you are new to Aurora, if you just recently signed up for Aurora, really within the past month, I would say, or if you are planning to sign up for Aurora, now is a great time because of this back to basics that Kristen's going to do. We have the education on our website that's available for you to watch and read, but then there's something about Kristen hosting the live trading room, doing these back to basic videos, which we record and send out to our Aurora subscribers to really hone in on the very specifics of each strategy and treat it as a refresher course to make sure that you really understand the signals, or if you're new, that she's there to answer questions that you may have about the signals.
And Rod, we usually start with the A's. Monday and Tuesday, we focus on A's. Then Thursday and Friday, we focus on PBs. And then, Wednesday and Thursday, we focus on PBs. And by Friday, we're trying to just trade whatever comes our way.
All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We will be back next month. The first Wednesday of each month is when we host our Q&As. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Kristen, thank you for being here. And we will be in the live trading room tomorrow.
Sounds great.